Welcome back to Custom Fine Metalwork and Engraving. We're at my chemical bench again today to answer one of the more common questions in engraving. I have a drawing and I want to apply it to the metal. How do I do that? Personally, I prefer to use the acetone transfer method. It is a method that has been around since the invention of the printer. Bear with me, I am not a printer technician. I just know how this transfer method works. I'll tell you, it doesn't work with every printer and it doesn't work with every printer cartridge. So it may take some experimentation on your part. So I have my printed art, a piece of metal that has been cleaned and ready for engraving, and then of course the acetone, which will facilitate the transfer. The first thing I'm going to do is cut out my art. And get it aligned on the piece of metal that I want to engrave. And it is super important that this art stay very still. So I've got a couple pieces of tape here as well. And then I'm going to take this paper towel that has been soaked is a strong word, but it has been damped with acetone, and I will just daub it onto the paper. Be aware that once the design is printed, this method will give you a mirror image. It's not so important with this design, but with other designs you end up with the inverse of whatever you've printed. Acetone evaporates very quickly, so when the paper starts to dry, I can go ahead and peel it up. And you can see the transfer has been moved over to the metal and it is ready for engraving. This is a super simple, super fast method of transfer once you've figured out the printer and ink combination that works for you. I will say, however, it is neither perfect nor permanent. It'll stand up to some handling, but it will eventually rub off under the microscope if you're running your fingers over this while you're holding your engraver. So be careful, use a scribe, pencil it in a little so that it actually is in the surface of the metal and not just applied to it, and that will prevent you from rubbing this off and keeping the visual information you need while you engrave. Hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any more questions, and please consider joining my Patreon. I engage my community much more directly there and answer many more of the technical questions about metalwork and hand engraving.